Hi there and welcome to the Toon review. So just a preview of Wednesday's game against Queen's Park Rangers, which is kind of a massive game for us now. We have a massive February. The games that we've got coming up come thick and fast, and maybe if you look back to Saturday now and you think, looking at the games in February, maybe Rafa was right to make the changes he did. A lot of people have come out since that game and said, people are disrespecting the FA Cup now. Shearer himself has said that, it's unfair on fans. So I think there's still a lot of division between the fans as to where we are with that. And one thing I'd just like to point out is, Saturday night and through Sunday, really, there was a lot of arguing going on, especially on Twitter, regarding the performance at Oxford and regarding, the team and Rafa himself. And there was a couple of stupid tweets that I saw saying Rafa out. I mean, let's face it, these guys must be Sunderland fans who are, disguising themselves as Magpies and deciding that, we'll put some daft tweets out there saying Rafa out, because I can't in my brain work out why somebody would want Rafa Benitez out of the club. He's the best thing that happened to us since Keegan or Bobby Robson. You look at the crap we've had in the past. You look at Carver, Pardew, Hullett, Dalglish, Souness. Come on, let's face it, guys. We've got the best manager possible here, and we are lucky to have him. Yes, criticise when criticism is due. If we don't perform or the tactics are wrong, then yes, we have a dig at the manager or the team. But that's just criticism for that particular game. It's not to say that we want the manager out. But some of the nastiness between Newcastle fans on Saturday and Sunday was incredible. I mean, yes, football is a game of opinions, and I've said that all along on my videos, on Twitter, on Facebook, or wherever it may be, that, you have to respect people's opinions in football, because that's what football's all about. You go down the pub or whatever, and you go to the match and you talk to your mates about football. You may have a completely different opinion to one of your own friends. Does that mean you're going to start having a punch-up with your friend just because he disagrees with what you say? No. It's a game of opinions, and that's how it should be. End of. So for me, the weekend's gone now. The FA Cup's gone. We've now got to turn focus to the league and make sure that we stay focused on the league, because I think that is where we are now at risk of falling down if we don't improve the performances. Now, I've said for a couple of weeks now that I don't think our performances have been very good. We've scraped results. Brentford was just off the top of my head. But Queen's Park Rangers will come up here on Wednesday, and, Holloway will not let them just sit back and get rolled over. They've had some sort of mini revival lately under Holloway. They've been playing better football. Yes, it's took him a while to get going at Queen's Park Rangers again. I think this is his second time in charge of the club. But he's a decent manager, Holloway. One thing you can't disguise is that he is a decent manager, certainly in the lower leagues. Maybe he's not the Premier League. He had a disastrous time with Blackpool, but, well, was it disastrous? I don't think it was, actually, looking back. They had a great time up there, but he was the man that got them there. So, he can't be that bad of a manager, can he? So he'll have the Queen's Park Rangers players, really up for it. It's a massive game for them as well. They're 17th in the league at the minute, but they have improved on league position in the last couple of weeks. So they are a dangerous side, and to be fair, we have to be at our best, because what I'd like to see on Wednesday is a brilliant atmosphere in the ground. You cannot beat a nighttime game at St James's Park with them floodlights beaming down, pitch black dark outside, and it's a hotbed, as long as the fans make it a hotbed. So a great atmosphere is needed. Get behind the players from the word go. There'll be massive changes from the weekend. I'll come to my lineup in a minute. But what I'd like to see from the team is to go at them from the word go. And I've said this for ages now, that I just love Newcastle to go out one game and not play this sort of negative defensive football where we're knocking it around the back four for 5-6 minutes before we even start going forward. These lower league teams will come to St James's Park like they have all season and play on the counter-attack. That's going to be their plan from the start, is play on the counter, because they know sometimes Newcastle are susceptible to counter-attacks if we go too stupid. But what I mean by attacking football is get the balls out wide, play some balls into the box and attack them. So I think Murphy is the perfect man that will come in on Wednesday. I don't think he'll go with Mitrovic. I think Mitrovic had a big opportunity on Saturday and he blew it. Now, with Mitrovic, there's been a lot of fans on and off say he's crap, he's crap, he's crap, he's brilliant, he's an idol. There's been total difference of opinions. For me, he's not good enough at the minute, and I said that on my review video on Saturday. I said that he wasn't good enough at the minute. I don't know if he's going to get any better. I don't know whether he'll get his opportunity or whether Rafa's seen enough. But for me, he's behind Murphy and he's well behind Gale at the minute. That's a certain fact. But the lineup I think he'll go with on Wednesday, obviously Carl Darlow I think will come back in goal, Yedlin right back, Dummett left back, and he'll go back to his favourite two at the back, which is Kieran Clark and Jamal Lascelles, who also, I have to say, took a lot of abuse on Saturday, especially on social media. And these fans that abuse the players on social media, give your heads a shake. Just really, if you're not going to say anything constructive, then don't say anything at all. What good is abusing Jamal Lascelles on Twitter going to do? Absolutely shite all. So, if these keyboard warriors who probably don't even go to the matches, just back away, go away, support Sunderland, just disappear. Midfield, I think you'll go with Gouffran on the left, Ritchie on the right, and in the middle, I think you'll go with Hayden and Shelvey. Number 10 role, now, Diame is going to be back, so, will he put Diame in or will he go with Perez? I'm not so sure, but I think Darren Murphy will certainly be the striker because he's on form in the league. He was left out altogether at the weekend, so I think he's definitely going to play on Wednesday. But second guessing Rafa is never easy, and I've heard a lot of people say this. Everyone will put the team predictions out there, and it'll come to game night, an hour before the match, and Rafa's made 2 or 3 bizarre changes, but only he knows why, and that's why he's paid to be the manager of the club. So, it could be any team, but that's what I would go with. Diame or Perez. I'd probably play Perez. Diame has just come back from the African nations, so he may be a little bit jaded from travelling, but who knows? He could come back and he's feeling fully fit and he'll go in the team. Just before he went to the African nations, there was just a slight glimpse that Diame was starting to, come to his normal self and look like the player that we all hoped he was at the start of the season. So it's going to be an important match for him, whether he comes on as sub or he comes on from the start. So that's the team I would go with. Now, one thing I want to say before I finish is the transfer window obviously shuts tomorrow night. It'll be very, very interesting now to see who we're going to bring in. For me, I'm getting a bit bored of the Townsend and McCarthy news reports all the time. It's the same old shit. They're in talks. I think they're now haggling over a loan fee for Townsend, plus a release clause. All of this kind of crap goes in there. And Mbemba going the other way. For me, I wouldn't let Mbemba go. I think he's a quality defender. But obviously, like we say, we trust in Rafa and he decides where we go from there. But one thing that sort of does concern me a little bit is, I think we need backup for Shelvey. And I think a lot of people would agree with me on that, if Shelvey gets injured, we're in deep shit. And we can't really afford that. So I think missing Shelvey for those 5 games just proved what a massive, massive miss he is. And on Saturday, to be fair, he was on the bench, but Rafa didn't want to risk him. If we don't have Shelvey in the side, for me, the creativity is literally zero. We just don't have anybody who's got the eye and the pinpoint accuracy of passing that Shelvey has. So I'd like to see somebody come in, probably not along the same standard as Shelvey, but someone who can do a job and who's got that vision and creativity to make chances for the front guys. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens between now and tomorrow night. Certainly, transfer deadline day is always a good laugh, isn't it? But I think a lot of managers have complained this season because obviously there's Premier League games tomorrow night as well as Championship and stuff like that. And it gives them very little time after the match to try and seal any late deals. So it'll be a bit frantic tomorrow night, I think, if teams are going in for it. One thing that did make me laugh was Arsene Wenger complaining about having a match on the same night the transfer window ends. Now, when have you known Wenger to be busy in the transfer market on deadline day? Never. So, I couldn't understand why he makes comments like that, but I don't understand half the things Wenger does anyway. But thanks very much for watching the preview video. like I say, I'll be doing a review of the match on Thursday and another preview for the Derby County game, which is going to be very interesting for obvious reasons. But thanks very much for watching. If you like the video, hit the like button for us. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. It's starting to go up a little bit, which is great to see. And thanks to everyone that's been putting comments on the previous videos. I had over 600 views on the Oxford match, which is fantastic. Thank you very, very much for that. And to all those that have subscribed, big, big thank you. Keep subscribing. Catch me on Twitter at the Toon Review. Facebook is facebook.com/the Toon Review, and also on Instagram now at instagram.com the Toon Review. So give us a follow on there as well. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you on Thursday's video, and hopefully 3 points for the Toon. See you then.